Everyone. I'm here again with another youth delegate to the World Water Forum. Can you tell us about yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle Kamtié. I am a youth advocate in the water and environmental sphere. I was born and raised in Cameroon before moving to Canada. I am a master's degree candidate in humanitarian action and international development management, and I am involved in the water sphere through the World Youth Parliament for Water as the vice president of the organization.
Thank you very much. Great to meet you. So, can you tell us what has been your experience so far at the World Water Forum?
Thank you. So first of all, I'm very I'm very grateful to be here because it's not given only the opportunity to be here, to be able to meet fellow delegates and policymakers, decision makers. It's a very great opportunity. So far, I feel like it is a great experience to exchange. I've been doing a lot of networking, assisting high-level session panels, listening to what people, delegates, presidents, ministers have to say. Also, we had the youth space, which is a space that has been created for youth to expose what we want. What we think it is important to focus on. So it was a space dedicated to youth, for the youth by the youth. So it was great to be there and see what other people from other network have to say about the water, what are other people priorities. So far my experience was good.
Awesome. I can see you've been having a great time in Dakar. Okay, so do you have expectations before coming to this World Water Forum? And so far, do you think those expectations have been met?
Thank you so much. So yes, of course I do have expectation, because before coming here to Dakar, we had a general assembly with my network. So we sat down 4 days before the beginning of the forum. We sat and we tried to draft all the important messages that we want to say during the forum, our advocacy strategy, what is the most important thing to do. So my first expectation, but I'm talking on the behalf of the network, not only on my behalf, but our first expectation is to actually really listen to the youth voices, because we feel like in the water sphere we don't really listen to youth. It's just like, okay, we are doing this conference like this one, we invite youth, but how far do you take into consideration what youth are saying? For example, for the World Water Forum, now we have youth, but most of them are not really involved even in the high level discussions panel. During the closing ceremony, there will be no youth doing a speech to close the forum. That shows for me how much there is not that much inclusion. For me, it's just tokenism. Invite people just to tick some cases, say, okay, we invite you, but we really have to take what is into consideration, put some concrete action. Stop saying, oh, we have to do this. It's time to act. We need to act now. We need to make some action. We need to work in collaboration, do the intergenerational dialogue, allow youth from the new generation to speak with youth from the old generation, so that the things should go to, on the two sides, not only from one side, but should go in both sides. And it's also very important to did I want to say?
Your expectations. You've mentioned one.
Okay, I mentioned one. The other expectation also was the fact that we have this youth space, but we realized that all these policy makers, all these high level personality didn't really came to the youth space, but it was a space for the youth to actually talk with them, meet with other youth. It was a space to gather all the youth together and the old generation together, but we really haven't met them there. But it's important that because this is the time to really sit together and to really have the conversation. and I felt that there was a gap, there was a barrier, because it wasn't that the conversation didn't go that well. We haven't seen them at the youth space try to listen to us. And my other expectation is to make the water sphere more inclusive, because in some places, the water sphere just stop at the water sphere. Someone, for example, that has a background in technology, in communication, can find his place there. But water is not just water. Water is everything. It's environment, climate change. But water is also health. Water is also agriculture. Yeah. It's everything. So we should stop say, okay, just whatever, but open the water sphere, make it more inclusive, so that people from every background, every part of life can actually get involved, also make action, and talk, like, say what they have to say, because we are the new generation. We are educate, we have tools, we have means, we have the dedication, because it's a sector that now it's not that inclusive, and it's not that attractive to youth, because sometimes they are not really paid opportunities in the sphere. But we still have the dedication to get involved. And in order to keep up motivate, in order to really involve us, we have the sector has to be more inclusive, so that everyone can come. And the other thing is that it is important to know that the youth will inherit of this world of tomorrow. So it's fair, it's only fair that we are involved in the resolution of these issues. And the goal is not to involve youth, because if we want to reach the SDG6, which is water for all, and if we want to stop like the climate crisis, we have to involve youth. So the goal is not to involve youth to only take case, to only do tokenism. No, it's to involve youth to reach that goal together. So it's very important to keep that in mind, so too, because I feel like sometimes they think that it stops at youth involvement on a superficial scale, but that's not the goal. The goal that we want to reach goes by the youth involvement. And I feel I have other things to say, but
I think you've said quite a lot. But the point I would want you to stress on is the youth involvement. Do you think in this forum that the youth voices have been heard?
I know that there were several sessions in which, let's say, one youth organization or two youth were invited to speak at high-level conferences. It's great that we have at least this youth, but for me it could have been more. I also know that there were sessions that more youth were involved, youth organized more sessions. That's good too, but for me the only thing that I'm disappointed about is the youth space, because as I told you, the youth space was created specifically to gather all the youth together, and the other goal was that people, high-level panelists, will come to that space, because that is where the youth was supposed to be, and then meet the youth. We did poster. For me, for example, I did a poster for a project that we are working on. So I was expected all these people to come and say, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is my project, but it didn't happen. So we haven't seen that, and for me, I feel like there's still that barrier that we wanted to break. There's still a gap between the youth and these policymakers, and that's something that is very disappointing to me.
Oh, wow, that's quite a strong point. And then just to conclude, what do you think about having this kind of movements and campaigns you have on climate change, having such kind of movements and campaigns on water? Do you think it is necessary?
So your question is, do I think that having the campaign,
having advocacy campaigns where you have the youths campaigning on climate change and asking the government to act to stop climate change, do you think you can have that high level of campaign and movement from the youths in the water sector?
Yes, I think so, because it's great to see that youth they really want to get more involved if we give them opportunities, and if we give the means to get involved, I think that we can mobilize them to really like do something, because since we have been campaigning for climate change, things change a little bit, like, but things haven't changed a lot. So we can't just sit there and say, oh, there are other people, there are already people doing that for climate change. No, we need to really do it as well for the water spare, because there are water scarcity, like there's so many things, and most of the natural catastrophes, it's related to water. So we just can't sit there and say, okay, there are already people. No, we really have to wake up, give the means to the local youth as well, youth in local communities. It's unacceptable that we give opportunities to youth from other countries, for example, to come and try to solve problem in the country, when you have local people who have the same experience, who can like bring the change, people who knows your problem more than people from the outside. You have to give them means. So I think that youth really want to get involved. It's very urgent. I know people that are scared to have children because they don't know like what will the work looks like tomorrow due to all what is happening. So they really want to get involved, and if you have the means, I think that it could become a very big movement. It's always a big movement, it can be a stronger movement.
Thank you very much. And then finally, what are you taking back to Cameroon or Canada?
Canada.
Okay, so what will you be taking back to Canada from here?
So what I will take back to Canada is what I heard from other youth, their priorities. I'm definitely taking that in note. Also the good connection that I made here. There's strategic plan from other network as well, because it's not about the World Youth Parliament for water only. It's about other network coming together. So the strategic plan that they made to overcome this issue. So I'm taking back with me a lot of experience, a lot of contact, even with government official. I have the opportunity that I'm so grateful for, to meet government official that say, okay, you can reach out to me, we will help you. It's talking, but we will work together to make concrete action. So I'm very grateful for this experience. I'm taking back a lot of contact, a lot of new knowledge, a lot of I know now what other youth are thinking about this. Yeah, it's not only me, it's now, let's say, 56 other youth people position that I have with me. So I think it's great.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Danielle. It was great talking to you. And I look forward to the amazing things that you'll be doing after this World Water Forum.